game series, SEC, Power 5, whatever. So that'll be a big matchup. And then also we play UF. Now, they refused to play us at home since we beat them twice last year. So they refused to play us here. So we're playing one there. They're babies. What can I say?
It's a little bit of a it's a little, oh man, what's the word for it? Kind of a little insecurity about it, maybe?
They're just mad because they're not the best team in Florida.
Yeah, that's true.
But then going into conference play, I'm really looking at ECU, who came in here and absolutely embarrassed us. And then UConn, who we went up to UConn last year. They'll be coming down this year. Yes, it was like 30 degrees, snowing, but we made 12 errors in 2 games. That can't happen. And then Houston. Houston ended up taking the series here last year, and then coincidentally enough, our 2 losses in the conference tournament was against ECU in the first round, then in the losers bracket we lost to Houston. So I mean, those are just, you got to create consistency. Obviously you're not going to win every game in baseball, but your goal has to be take 2 out of 3.
It definitely seems like you're going to have to be able to consistently be able to play at the highest level when you come into these matchups, because back in the previous seasons we've had the baseball team ended up not being able to play as well later on in the year and starting off strong.
They started off, you look last year, they started off just 2 losses going into conference play, and then just a downhill slope.
We'll see what happens.
Fell off.
We'll see what happens. All right, with recent news of ace pitcher Chris Williams being suspended for the first 9 games of the season, which pitchers need to step up in the rotation during his suspension?
So I'm going to look at 2 guys. Jordan Spicer, he's in his 2nd year here. He transferred from Polk Community College. He started off the year as the Sunday guy, and then, inconsistency here and there, he fell off. He needs to solidify himself as one of the top 3 in the rotation, so, be that Saturday guy, because the plan is for Chris to be the Friday guy. And then also Trevor Holloway transferred from Chipola. He pitched 75 innings last year at Chipola. It went 8-4, so he needs to, make his mark here at UCF, and I think he needs to step up.
We'll see what happens, And finally, give me a quick answer. Does this team have a legitimate shot in making the 64-team bracket in June, man?
As I say about baseball, survival of the fittest. Got to stay healthy. I think if this team stays healthy, they've proven that they can compete with the best, and I don't see a reason why they can't be in regionals.
I think we can really I think we can still give ourselves a pretty good chance.
I think so,
I think
too.
there's players in here that are, it's their last years, but it's shown that they've really grown. So we'll see what happens.
A lot of experience.
All right, well, that's great to hear from you, and I am looking forward to this baseball season to get rolling. That's all the time we have for the Knights today, but don't go anywhere, because when we return, it's NFL time, guys. Stick with us.
Good morning, fellas, except for Andre.
KG in the building.
James Harden is a stat man.
That is not, you're right.
He's the best scorer.
He has 120 straight points now. Bro, 120 straight points now. He doesn't back.
All right, let's do this. Let's get down to business, guys.
He's like Russell. You still got Aaron Gordon, PJ Tucker, and them boys. Come on now. What about Carlos? You want to go
Tom Brady is his son.
Facts.
I think it's kind of special, though.
What? What are you talking about, man? Crazy, man. Don't ever say that. This is your dad, What are you talking about?
Do you like sports? Do you like reading about sports? Then we got a sports blog just for you. Stay on my peripherals. That's not fun. Hitting the field.
The first student-run sports blog.
For sports fans.
By sports fans. I read it every morning so I can be in the know.
See, it's all about the product shot.
Where do you want me to stand?
Don't talk though, I want them to see the whole.
Hitting the field. We cover football. We cover basketball. And so much more. He's out. The takes are fresh.
By sports reporters and Meech.
What up? Watch the show and read the sports blog for all your sports stuff. Hitting.
Field.
Welcome back to Hitting the Field, and joining me to talk all things NFL and preview the Super Bowl 53 are Anthony Abruzzo, Armond Sarduy, Jaret Kappelman, and Kyle Partain. Guys, are you ready to talk some football?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's get to it.
I'm
always ready for it.
We should go into review first.
Should go under review. The last couple of games. Well, speaking of that, the AFC title game ended in an overtime thriller where the Patriots defeated HTF's adopted team, Chiefs 37-31. The game brought back the question on if the overtime rules need to be changed again, since the Chiefs didn't even get a chance at having the ball once, due to the Pats scoring a touchdown on the opening possession. And does the overtime rules need to change in the postseason?
Yeah, it does. I mean, you have to give both teams a chance to get a shot in overtime, especially in the playoffs. I mean, it benefited your team, but it doesn't benefit everybody else. This rule should have been changed in the Super Bowl when the Falcons didn't even get a chance. It's the playoffs, for God's sakes. Come on now. We have to change this. I get the regular season, but this is the playoffs. It's bigger than that.
It's understandable, but what about the argument that your defense should have been able to stop you?
It's a good argument, but you're not going to give the offense a chance. Mm-hmm. You got to give the offense a chance. Both teams have to get a chance. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is.
Armand?
Well, I have to agree with Ant on this one. Actually, I proposed a slight fix to this problem. The first overtime, is 15 minutes, obviously, and the way you should go if both teams are still tied at the end of the first quarter, at the end of the first overtime, the second overtime goes to sudden death. Because the rule right now is a sudden death automatically. Mm-hmm. So the first team that scores wins. Mm-hmm. And I don't think, and as a football fan, I don't think that's. You
don't think it's a real measure? You think that should be?
So I propose that change the rule. 15-minute overtime, we're still tied. Go to second overtime, sudden death.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah,
right. I like that.
All right, Kyle, what do you think?
I kind of agree with that. I think you let them play the first full overtime, first full 15 minutes. You got to be the better team. If you can be on top at the end of that, great. I disagree with sudden death in the second overtime because then you get the same argument, this team didn't get the ball to start in the second overtime period. So you get that same kind of argument there. Just put them both on the 50-yard line each time, and then sudden death like college does it. But put them on the 50 instead of the 25. Give them a little bit more. They're professional. They're a little bit better, stronger, faster.
They're getting paid to drive down the field.
Exactly. So put them on the 50 in the second overtime and so on and so forth until it eventually ends.
All right. Jared?
This isn't fairyland. I'm sorry. Defense wins championships. If you can't stop them, oh well. If this was the Chiefs that took the ball and scored, if it was the Falcons that took the ball and scored, no one would say anything. We're only saying it because it's the Patriots. Because why? America, you hate the Patriots. You either like them or you absolutely hate them. From a football perspective, I think the rule is fine. They took the ball, they scored. If the Chiefs took the ball, got the ball first, scored, no one would be like, oh my gosh, the Patriots should have got the ball.
It's true, but it really was like I think both teams were very hot. I do think your defense is a judgment of whether or not you can win the Super Bowl.
Football's a two-way sport.
Let me bring up a point real quick. In basketball, in the NBA, each team gets the ball in overtime, right? They play the whole overtime. Yes, it's 5 minutes. Baseball, you play the whole inning. Both teams get a shot. So why can't football get that same shot?
Because this is football.
But it's just
basketball is a different sport.
They're different sports, but both teams get a shot, though.
It's tough to be able to measure both, but because everything varies in between. But there's some things that we can change. But I mean, it benefited me. So anyway, that wasn't the only game that brought up rule changes.
What?
The NFC title game, where the Rams came back and defeated the Saints in overtime to punch their tickets to the Super Bowl. The officials missed an obvious pass interference and a helmet-to-helmet call on the Rams that would have put the Saints in the position to be in the big game. Saints fans are absolutely outraged by the missed call. Guys, should there be an expanded replay on penalty calls? I'm going to start with Armand on that.
Absolutely. That call was atrocious. Well, no call, I should say. No call was atrocious. Obviously, the receiver he was on the path to go, that was a catchable ball, right? And, the rest missed it.
It's one of the worst no calls of all time.
Oh, absolutely. The rest missed it. The NFL said, hey, we missed it. So that kind of put salt in the wound right there. Mm-hmm. And obviously the Saints fans felt the type of way that they got robbed. And absolutely they got robbed. So I think there should be a change in that. Because the NFL, man, they make so many mistakes like this. The calls that they should call, they don't call at all. And the calls that, you catch my drift.
It's tough because the problem is you go back and forth sometimes between it's the NFL's fault because they're the ones putting the rule in place,
right? And
sometimes it's just the ref's fault for missing just obvious call that they should have made. Ant, what do you think?
Oh, you're going to go to me? I mean, at first I was going to say no because you can't challenge too many calls, but that call was just so egregious. I mean, I think there has to be a rule change. I think either there should be an automatic review, like a turnover or a touchdown play, or a coach should be able to challenge it. It's just ridiculous, man. You can't have that in the league.
Kyle, what do you think?
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think a coach should be able to challenge a personal foul. I don't want it to get too carried away where, he jumped first, whether it's offsides or a false start or not. That gets
That's a little ridiculous.
that's too much. We don't need that. That interrupts the flow of the game. But when you get to a personal foul like that, the coach should probably be able to challenge that situation.
It's a point of you don't want them to get too rambunctious about it or something like that.
Exactly.
Go for those calls to see how close it is with replays. Jaret, what do you think?
Everyone's going to be against me. Because my whole thing, the refs also missed 60 yards for personal foul calls on the Saints. So you're going to sit here and tell me that, that one blown call blew the game? That game, the Rams could have ran away with it if they called the 4 flags on the Saints. And plus, we're going to go overtime. The Saints got the ball first, and you threw a pick. What are you complaining about? Saints, knock it off. You mocked the Eagles, karma bit you.
Oh, Jesus.
You suck. We won a Super Bowl. We're still the defending Super Bowl champs, and I will live with that for another week.
It just seems like it's going to be it's going to just feel like it's going to be something that just happens every year. That's going to be crazy.
Isn't a huge issue with NFL is pacing right now? A huge issue with sports in general is the pace of sports. If we can review penalties, what are we going to look at? 5-hour games?
It's like an issue with pacing. It's a pacing of a show. Anyway, HTF brought up an intriguing argument in our group meet chat about whether or not Julian Edelman should be a Hall of Famer based on the postseason. So we decided to bring that debate live on air. So Jaret, we'll start with you. Should a player be considered a Hall of Famer based on the postseason only? Give me a quick answer.
By that logic, Nick Foles should be a Hall of Famer, and he also did steroids, so no.
All right. Armond, what do you think?
He's trying to sell a Tom Brady a winner, so I think he should.
All right, that's a good point to me. Ant, what do you think?
I mean, he's helped Tom Brady out a lot, too. He's made some big plays. I would say, yeah, absolutely. Maybe not first ballot, but he should definitely get in at some point.
And Kyle, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Hall of Fame's about a career of excellence, not just a postseason of excellence. So
That's why he's on this side.
I'm gonna go with no, not just off of postseason success.
That's why he's on this side of the couch.
That's right.
And that's
I mean,
why
it's
we're
tough.
on
You don't there's a difference between a lot of people that are calling those all pros and going to Pro Bowls and everything, but they don't get to compete in such long playoff stints because of the team they're on.
You don't think the steroids lurks over that at all?
We don't,
Let's see. That's Barry Bonds.
We're going to have to take a quick break, guys, but when we return, we will preview the Patriots versus the Rams. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Has this ever happened to you?
Hey, Sandra, I got you these.
Chocolates? What are we, 12? Oh, Sandra, I have this little boy crush on you. Those are gonna give me diabetes. Boy, bye.
Are you sick of being rejected by every living, breathing, beautiful woman in this world? Yes. Are you tired of being an utter embarrassment to your family and friends because you're the only one who doesn't know how to talk to women yet? Yeah. Well, do you want the pimping to come easy? Yes. My name is Mr. Fly, and here I'm trying to talk to you today about pimp juice.
Pimp juice? What is it?
Just drink it. Damn.
Ben?
It's Big Benjamin now, little mama.
Pimp juice. Now we're pimping pineapple.
Welcome back, guys, to Hitting the Field. Let's go ahead and talk about what we're here for, the Super Bowl matchup. Gentlemen, we are less than a week away from Super Bowl 53, and the Patriots and the Rams squeezed through their highly contested conference championship games to get to the promised land. Tom Brady led the Patriots to overtime, and Rex Burkhead clinched their spot in the Super Bowl with a touchdown in the red zone. Jared Goff showed us that he is capable of leading his team when the going gets tough. Todd Gurley did not show up in the conference championship, but we should not count him out in the biggest game of his career. Guys, what are some of the X factors for each team? Kyle, I'm going to have to start with you.
Well, I think the obvious one for the Rams, the obvious X factor, is Todd Gurley. He's the third leading rusher in the NFL during the regular season. 1,251 yards carried during the season. That's insanely good. And of course, the Rams have been able to win in these tight games in the tight game against the Chiefs without Gurley. Now, the Patriots bring in the 11th best rushing defense in the entire NFL. So this is critical for the Rams to be able to run. And Todd Gurley is the perfect guy to be able to have a big game on the big stage. And Gurley is that X factor. If he has a big night, expect the Rams to keep this close. If not, the Patriots may run away with it. Now, if we're looking on the Patriots side, their X factor is without a doubt Bill Belichick. It's always been Belichick. In the postseason, the guy's a mastermind coach. He always seems to have this perfect scheme, perfect game plan. He slowed down the Chiefs for the entire first half, which was enough to get them to win. And now I expect him to come up with a really good scheme this game, and 29-10 overall in the postseason with the Patriots.
Yep.
That's unbelievable, and I expect that to continue.
It's an attest to how great of a coach he is to be able to be in this position again for so long. And Todd Gurley, people were talking about how he's hurt, but I think he's had enough time. I think he's going to be able to pull off what he's been able to do.
Yeah, I think he'll be fine.
Armand, what do you think?
I have to agree with the call on that one. Gurley, he has time off. Since it's 2 weeks. 2 weeks time off.
I think he's been hurt since week 15.
Yeah, he's been hurt. He's been hurt, but he had time off. 2 weeks. Super Bowl's not till Sunday. He's definitely critical in terms of this game because they need to attack the Patriots rushing defense. Also say the Rams defensive line because when I watched that Chiefs in the AFC Championship game, they didn't close the pocket. Tom Brady was getting anywhere he wants. Edelman, Hogan. If they get to Tom Brady, the Rams will win that football game.
No, that's true. That's it. Well, the Rams and the Patriots are bringing two of the top offenses in NFL to the Super Bowl. Although we focus more on the quarterback and receiver play, the big guys up front are just as important. The Patriots O-line will be tested by the Rams D-line led by Aaron Donald, who recorded 20.5 sacks this season. Amazing. Fellas, who will have the upper hand in the matchup? The Rams D-line or the Patriots O-line? Guys, I'm sorry about cutting you off, Ant and Jaret, about the last question, but I'm going to let the two of you guys take this. So, Jaret, I'm going to start with you.
Obviously, the D-line, 100%, because you got Aaron Donald, 20.5 sacks. You got Ndamukong Suh, who will probably kick Brady. He's got history. Okay? That's all I'm saying. But it's just the pressure they created. They shut down Ingram. They shut down Kamara. They didn't really let him get going. I think if you look at the Patriots they've played from a running back style, to stop the run, that's what I'm more worried about is the running game. Because a big part of the Patriots as of lately has been the run game.
Exactly.
Why? Because it opens up play action, one-on-one for Gronk, Hogan in the middle. So I'm really looking at if Brady gets time like he has been all year, they'll be fine. But if you look at last year's Super Bowl, what happened? Havoc was created. Pressure was felt.
Exactly.
They lost.
Right.
And you were able to pressure Brady in the Super Bowl. That's his biggest. That's the thing. Is getting to him is such an important position. But now when you have this Georgia-like two-headed dragon style of an offense with James White and Sony Michel and Rex Burkhead, who just will show up sometimes, it really kind of creates a whole different kind of X factor for the Patriots. Well, Ant, what do you think?
This is the key to this game, is the Patriots O-line and the Rams D-line. Who's going to have the advantage? If the Patriots can protect Tom Brady like they have been during these playoffs, the Patriots are going to win this football game. But if Ndamukong Suh, Aaron Donald, those guys could get to Tom Brady, I'll give you one game. For Super Bowl 50 on the line, what did the Broncos do? They got Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware, they pressured them all day. What happened? The Broncos win. If the Rams could get to the Patriots, the Rams could win this football game. But if the Patriots continue to protect Tom Brady like they have been against two pretty good defensive lines in the LA Chargers and the Kansas City Chiefs.
This is the real test.
This is the real test.
For all we know, Donald could be the MVP.
He could
absolutely.
He could be. He's in the running.
And that's the thing about the Patriots is that so far in the playoffs they've been able to take off these key players that they've wanted to get rid of. When they got rid of Tyreek Hill, the entire game against the Chiefs, he had one catch.
How do you shut down Aaron Donald?
If that's the thing. If they can figure out a way to do that, the person that's going to be the X factor for the Rams has to be Suh. If he can pressure him, or if who was it else? Who was the
Rocker?
It's just if
Dante Fowler.
You have to be able to pressure Brady. That's just how it's going to have to work.
Right.
Or else you're not going to be able to stop him.
No pressure, you're no championship. That's the key to this game.
Defense wins championships.
Well, the past two Super Bowls finished by less than 10 points. The Eagles, led by Nick Foles, defeated the Patriots 41-33 in Super Bowl 52. In Super Bowl 51, the game, I still can't stand it. The game went into overtime after the Atlanta Falcons blew a 28-3 lead. Sorry, Falcon fans, I don't mind mentioning that at all. The Patriots ended up winning 34-28. Guys, do you see this year's Super Bowl being close? And what are your score predictions? Ant, I will start with you.
I hope it's a close Super Bowl, so I'm going to say it is. I'm going to say it's going to be Rams are going to be up 27-24. Tom Brady gets the ball last 2 minutes. You know what happens. It's going to drive down the field, and it's going to be a rushing touchdown. The Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl 31-27. Patriots is going to win.
And I'm going to make sure everybody gets a chance to do this now. I apologize before, but yes, Armand, of course.
Well, how to say, obviously, I don't like the Patriots, but, I'm going to have to go I'm going to go Rams 30 and Patriots 23. I feel like absolutely feel like the D-line, the Rams D-line, will come after Brady all game. And if they do, it's gonna be a mess.
I hope they do. I hope you're right, Armond. I hope you're right.
Yeah, you didn't let me talk about my X factors. You know, the people in the zebra costumes, the refs, could be a huge factor in the game. I'm being honest here.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, you know, we got a revenge game for Brandon Cooks. Got knocked out by Malcolm Jenkins last year on the Patriots. Now, you know, with the Rams. But I predicted the World Series correctly in 5 games.
He really did. He really did.
I'm taking the Patriots 38-10.
Thanks, Jaret.
Blowout win? Jeez.
Wow.
38 to 10. 38 to 10. Wow,
Yikes.
that's a wild red shirt. I think it's going to be a pretty close.
That's
game.
bold.
That is a bold.
38-10 is bold.
Kyle.
It's going to happen.
I think it's going to be a really exciting game. I think, surprisingly, I think it's going to be relatively high scoring, but I think at the end of the day, it's going to come down to defense, which is probably not what a lot of people are expecting in this Super Bowl.
Every Super Bowl.
So I think both teams are really even. I think it's going to be a great game. And I think the Patriots defense will come up with a clutch stop in the end. I'd take the Patriots 34-28.
Man, I knew everyone was against me, man. 28-point blowout. It's going to be Super Bowl 49 all over again.
It's just, for me, it really is like, it's just an attest. Like, it's all about those final seconds and those final minutes. Like, you have, with a team like the Rams, you have a bunch of stars. And when they really form together, like they have, obviously, this last half of the season and in the playoffs, they can really form something together.
What's
but
your
it's
prediction?
I was thinking earlier it was 27-24. I think it's going to be some sort of it's going to be a 2-minute drill. It's going to be something like straight at the end. I think it's going to be close the entire game. I'm going to be sweating really bad, really horribly. It's not going to be fun.
I'm going to enjoy every moment of it.
Oh, yeah, of course. 38-10, though. That's a bold take.
That is really hot.
I mean,
hot take.
the last blowout was
you know
super
what?
If it happens, I'm going to look like a genius.
You know what? Never mind. I can actually see that happening.
My big concern is Jared Goff. This is his first time on the big stage. Now, he hasn't shown us any nerves being on the big stage yet.
Also, do you realize?
But listen, this is if this game is close in the end and the ball is in his hands to win the game, do you really think first time in the Super Bowl he's going to just go out and make these spectacular throws?
It's all about getting a game manager.
Hold up. Well,
right.
Tom Brady's first Super Bowl was against the Rams, in which he led a 2-minute drill. So maybe Jared Goff's first Super Bowl against the Patriots, he can lead a 2-minute drill.
He absolutely could.
And plus, he's a very smart
They
coach.
have the talent. There are so many weapons.
So, do you realize that Tom Brady's older than the head coach of the Rams?
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
but he's
Julian
amazing.
Edelman played against McVay in college.
All right,
crazy.
guys. All right, well, thank you, everybody. Well, that's all the time we have for talking about the Super Bowl today. After a quick break, we're going to be back with our night vision. Stay with us, guys.
Has this ever happened to you?
Hey, Sandra, I got you these.
Chocolates? What are we, 12? Oh, Sandra, I have this little boy crush on you. Those are gonna give me diabetes. Boy, bye.
Are you sick of being rejected by every living, breathing, beautiful woman in this world? Yes. Are you tired of being an utter embarrassment to your family and friends because you're the only one who doesn't know how to talk to women yet? Yeah. Well, do you want the pimping to come easy? Yeah. My name is Mr. Fly, and here I'm trying to talk to you today about pimp juice.
Pimp juice? What is it?
Just drink it. Damn.
Ben?
It's Big Benjamin now, little mama.
Pimp juice. Now we're pimping pineapple.
Welcome back, guys. And for today's night vision, I figured my life as a Boston sports fan is just going too well. You know, the Red Sox just won the World Series. The Patriots are competing in the Super Bowl for a 3rd straight year. I'm on too much of a high right now, off it all. So with that in mind, I'm opening up the floor to our panelists to roast my teams and me as much as you guys want. Please keep it family friendly, though. I would appreciate it. Jaret, I'd really please keep it family friendly.
No, I'm a family friendly guy. You know, I just got to know, how deflating is it going to be when the Patriots lose back-to-back Super Bowls? It's deflating when they lost last year.
Ideal gas.
Kind of like Brady's, footballs.
Really brings footballs? All right. All right. That was a solid one to start off. Armond, you got anything?
Oh, man.
Well, I hope Brady tucks and runs. Wait for the D-line.
Got him.
You know what I appreciate so far is the fact that it's all been team-worthy and it hasn't been just like anything specifically directed at me. But we'll see what happens, Ant.
So just make sure your quarterback knows how to catch.
Jeez, especially last year.
Especially last year. Yeah.
Can we get the camera on me real quick? Right.
Let's give Kyle a chance first.
Okay. Nick wanted me to deliver a special.
Oh, Nick wanted.
let me
Okay.
deliver this back.
Can we get a wide
Nick
shot?
Santiago.
Can we get a wide shot? Wide shot. This was from Nick.
Okay.
That was
All
from
right,
Nick.
that's a slap. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today's Hitting the Field episode. Make sure you guys follow us and keep us on Twitter and Instagram. See you later.